Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before we start our lesson, we will begin with reciting surah. The first one will be Surah Al-Fatihah, Surah Taha ayat 1 hingga 5, Surah Al-Insyirah, Surah Al-Kafirun, and then Surah Al-Ikhlas by 3 times. After that, followed by selawat ke atas Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Kita niatkan selawat kita ni untuk memenuhi perintah Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Kita niatkan selawat kita ni untuk memenuhi hak Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Kita niatkan selawat kita ni untuk mendapat syafaat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam di akhirat kelak. Dan kita niatkan segala bacaan surah dan selawat kita ni untuk kedua orang tua, keluarga dan seluruh umat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Kemudian doa sebelum belajar, semoga dengan usaha ini akan membantu pelajar agar mudah memahami dan dibukakan hati para pelajar untuk mencintai ilmu. Okay?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم طه ما أنزلنا عليك القرآن لتشقى إلا تذكرة لمن يخشى تنزيلا ممن خلق الأرض والسماوات العلى الرحمن على العرش استوى. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد. 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 محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل 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 محمد
Doa sebelum belajar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma ftah alaina hikmataka wanshur alaina min hazaini rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Ya Allah, bukakanlah ke atas kami hikmat-hikmat-Mu dan limpahilah ke atas kami khazanah rahmat-Mu, wahai yang maha pemurah lagi maha penyayang.
Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Ya Rabbku, lapangkanlah untukku dadaku dan mudahkanlah untukku urusanku, dan lepaskanlah kekakuan dari lidahku, supaya mereka mengerti perkataanku.
Amin.
Amin, amin, amin. Ya Rabbal Alamin. In this session, we will discuss about topic rotation and enlargement. Both of this rotation and enlargement is under topic of symmetry and transformation. So can you please get ready with your notes, page 100 until 104, and your worksheet, page 71 until 74. Objectives. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to, and here I put objectives for both rotation and enlargement separately, respectively. So first, rotation, because in your notes, your topic for rotation and enlargement split into two. So the first one will be the objectives for rotation. Rotate polygons on a coordinate grid, all four quadrants after a rotations of 90 degrees, 180 degrees or 270 degrees clockwise and anti-clockwise around any point. Alright, so by the end of the lesson, at the end of the lesson, students should be able to rotate the polygon through the center of rotations given and the direction given. Alright, and for the enlargement, students should be able to explain and use the language and notation associated with enlargement. For example, scale factors, enlargement itself, okay? And the second one, enlarged polygons given a center of enlargement is very important. For enlargement and for rotation, both of them need the center. Okay, so you need to identify the center. Alright, and here for the enlargement, given a center of enlargement and a positive integer scale factors. For our syllabus, we only focus with positive scale factors. to success as to achieve our objectives. First, for rotation, identify the center of rotation. Second, identify the clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. And the last one, know how to read angle of rotation. Okay, and for your enlargement, first identify the center of enlargement, and second one, know the scale factor. Rotation, page 100. A rotation is a transformation which rotates all points on a plane through a given angle in a clockwise or anti-clockwise direction about a fixed point. Okay, and this fixed point is known as the center of rotation. If previously in year 7 we also cover topic rotation, but the center is at any one of the vertex. Right here for your year 8, your center of rotation will be given a coordinates, and most of the time you are given a center of rotations of origin. When we talk about origin, that means x is 0, y is 0. So for rotation, please pay attention with the center of rotation and also the direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. Okay, page 100. In this diagram, it shows you about the direction of the rotation. It can be clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. Okay, and here we must have center of rotation and the angle of rotation. Angle of rotation can be 180 degrees, can be 90 degrees, or other than that. Okay, just follow what the question give you in exam. And then here will be the important points that you need to remember. First, the center O remain in the same position under a rotation. The center of rotation is invariant. That means the center is fixed. If the center is here, so all the rotation happen here. Okay, we cannot move one center here and another center here. No. Okay, the center is fixed. The second one, the shape and size of an image are the same as the object. Yes, for translation, reflection, rotation, the shape and the size of an image must be same as the object. Okay, the object and the image are equidistant from O. That means the distance of the object and the distance of the image must be equal from the center of rotation. All right, and here will be the important summarization. When you're going to describe a rotation, you need to mention the angle, you need to mention the center of rotation. Okay, if the question asks you to explain how you get that rotation, so you must mention about angle and center of rotation. Okay, for 180 degrees rotation, we need not mention the direction. All right. Example 1. Draw and label the image point A1 of the object point A under a clockwise rotation of 90 degrees about point O. And first, circle the keywords, that is rotation. And we have 4 types of transformation, and one of them will be this rotation. Okay. And then you need to look for the direction and also the angles. For rotation, you need to look for direction and angles, and you need to label the image as A1 later on. Okay, and here the direction will be clockwise, so you need to move to the right, and the angle will be 90 degrees about point O. And here this A will be your object and this O will be your center. Alright? And you need your ruler and also your protector to measure the angles. Okay? And now first we need to join the line, join the object to the center like this. And you need to use broken line. You need to use broken line. Alright? And then you take your protector to measure. and you need to put the center of your protector to this O here. Okay, you take your protector, you put the center at O here, and remember to make sure the line is accurate. Okay, make sure your line is accurate, and we're going to move to your right because the question asks you about clockwise direction. Okay, and then so you move to right. Here will be the 90 degrees. Okay, and because the line is here, so we are using 0 outside. Okay, 0 outside, therefore we are using the outside value here. Okay, once you done, you join the line to the center. You join the line to the center, and you need to make sure the distance of the object to the distance of the object from the center and the distance of the image from the center must be equidistant. Okay, must be equidistant, must be equal. So in this situation, we're going to measure the distance of this object from the center so that we can get the accurate measurement for your image from the center. Okay, so here we have 4 point. We have 4.7. Okay, so we have 4.7. And the image must be 4.7 also. Okay, and remember the object and the image from the center must be equidistant. All right, so you measure with your ruler. Look carefully for 4.7. Once you are done, so you label that as A1, the image. Okay, you label as A1. And then we already complete the image for the point A. Example 2. Draw and label the image line segment B1C1 of the object line segment BC under an anti-clockwise rotation of 90 degrees about the origin. And we know that transformation we have 4 types and rotation is one of them. And then you need to identify in exam what kind of transformation that you're going to do. All right, and here we are going to do the rotation. And once you know that you're going to do the rotation, you need to look for 2 things. First is direction. 3 things. Okay, 3 things. First is direction, second angle, and the third one is the center. And here the center will be origin. Origin means 0 0. X is 0, y is 0. And the direction will be anti-clockwise. And when we talk about anti-clockwise, so everything will be moved to the left. Okay, and the angle will be 90 degrees. Once you already have these 3 things, you identify these 3 things, and you can start finding the image of the object. And here will be the center, 0 0. Okay, and as usual, you can draw the dotted line. You need joining that object to the center like this, and take your protector and put the center of your protector here. Put your center of your protector here, and hence we need to look for anti-clockwise, so everything will be at this left. Okay, and here as you can see here, we are using 0 inside, so so we need to use the value of the inside. Okay, and here will be the 90. You take out that protector and you join that image to the center like this. Okay, and draw the dotted line draw the dotted line, and remember your object and your image must be equidistant from the center. Okay, your object from the center and your image from the center must be equidistant. So you need to have equal length from center to the object and from center to the image. Okay, and this will be the spelling for your equidistant: equidistant. That means the distance must be equal. Okay, now we look back at the object. As you can see here, we move 2 steps to get that object. So we repeat the same thing to get the image 1, 2. And as you can see here, your image B1 will be at coordinates -2, 1. Alright, so here we done with B, and we move with C again, repeating the same things. You draw the dotted line. And then take your protractor, measure. Remember, the center of your protractor put here at the 0, 0. Okay, and look carefully. Make sure the line of your protractor exactly on the line of the object. And still we are using 0 inside, so we're going to use the value inside. And here will be the 90 degrees. You draw the line. And then you can count how many steps that object far away from the center. Okay, and again, your object and your image must be equidistant from the center. And here we have 3 steps to get the object, and therefore we need 3 steps to get the image. And don't forget to label as C1. And don't leave your points like this. We have the object as one line segment, therefore your image must be also one line segment. And remember, be careful when you write down the C1, that one must be a little one, a bit down from the alphabet. Okay, remember that one. And once you clear that, your image is same like your object, and then you can draw the line to finalize, and this will be your image, the line. Don't stop at the point, but you need to draw the line also. Okay, so here we have completely done the image of this line segment of BC. Example 3. Draw and label the image triangle D1, E1, F1 of the object triangle DF. And here we have 2 questions, and both of them about rotation. Okay, it's all about the rotation. And when we talk about rotation, we need to look for 3 things. First is the direction, second angles, and third will be center. Okay, now we do part A first, and when we talk about clockwise, so everything will be moved to the right, and origin here means 0, 0. X is 0, Y is 0. Alright, and here will be the important information that you need to know. Object is the original figure, image is rotated figure. Both object and image have the same shape and size. Both of them must have same shape and size. Now back to part A. The angle will be 90 degrees. And we identified the center, that is 0, 0. So for clockwise rotation, we need to move everything to the right. Okay, take your ruler and you join the object to the center like this. You join the object to the center with dotted line. And then you take your protector and measure 90 degrees. Okay, put the center of your protector to the center of origin there. Okay, and here will be the center. All right, will be the center, and make sure you look carefully. Okay, here this line, and we are using 0 outside, therefore we are doing value outside. Okay, we are reading the value outside, and here will be the 90 degrees. All right, and then we count 2 steps of object from the center origin, so your image will be 2 step also from the origin, because both of the image and object must be equidistant from the origin. All right, and don't forget to label. Complete everything before you move to the other point. Okay, now we already complete that E. Now we move to point D. Repeat the same thing. Repeat the same thing. Measure 90 degrees clockwise to the right. Okay, still we are using 0 outside, so we read the value outside. Okay, look carefully, measure carefully. Okay, draw the dotted line, and then we count. For object, we move 3 steps from the center, so your image also you need to move 3 steps from the center. And don't forget to label. And then we move to part E, point E. Repeat the same thing. Take your ruler to check for 90 degrees. Okay. So we're done with the image, the measurement of the image, and right now we're going to plot the image. Okay. Now here I double check the measurement because I think the measurement is a bit not correct. So here I try to get the measurement once again for part F. See, I made mistake with the measurement for the first part just now. So this will be the second measurement for part F. And then draw the dotted line and count many steps from the center. The object is 3 steps and the image also 3 steps. Label F1, and your object is a triangle, therefore your image must also triangle. You cannot leave the points here without joining them to get that triangle. So be careful with that, alright? If your object is a triangle, so your image must be triangle. So by doing this, we're done with part A. Okay, we're done with part A, the rotation for part A. We have label, yes, and the dotted line, just keep it there. Alright, do not erase it. That is proof of your workings. And now we move to part B under a rotations of 180 degrees about the point 0, 1. We cannot use this 0, 0 anymore. Okay, the new point will be 0, 1. Okay, still rotation, but in exam it can be for part A rotation, part B can be enlargement, can be reflection, can be translation, like that. Okay. So your P is 0, 1. Your X is 0 and your Y is 1. So you plot the point first, and then that will be the point P. Okay, label point P. And when we talk about 180 degrees, it must be straight line passing through the center. Okay, so how are we going to passing through the center to get the image? And we start with E first. Okay, we start with E. So you can see here we have one step here. So your image also must be one step. So we're done with E1. And don't forget to label E1. Okay, and then we move to F. We move to F. And then label. And last one, point D. Sorry. So point D passing through that point P here, the center. Two step from the origin. So your image must be two step also from the origin. So label D1 and join all the points to get a triangle. Join all of the points to get the triangle. So by joining all the points here, forming the triangle, then we complete answering part B. Enlargement. Enlargement is a kind of transformation that changes the size. Okay, now remember only enlargement. Only enlargement that changes the size. Remember that one. Alright? It's either the image will be bigger than the object or the image will be smaller than the object. Here show you how actually enlargement take place. Okay, and figure B and C are the enlargement of figure A. So the image getting larger and larger. Okay, for part 2, triangle PQR. PQR is mapped onto triangle P square P1, Q1, R1 by an enlargement with scale factor 2 and center 0. That means the image is bigger than the object from the center, right? And here will be the image, and this image bigger than the object. Here is the object and here is the image. Okay, but remember, enlargement is not only the image bigger than the object. It can be the object bigger than the image. Okay, so please bear in mind about that one. For every enlargement, first you need to know the scale factors. That is the most important things. Without the scale factor, you cannot move to get the enlargement. And scale factor here, the numerator will be the distance of image from the center of enlargement, and the denominator here, distance of object from the center of enlargement. And the second one, there must be a point called the center of enlargement. Okay, as rotation, enlargement also have their own center of enlargement. Now, example 4. First, you need to highlight the keywords, and the keywords here will be enlargement. And for enlargement, you need to look for two things: scale factors and also center. Okay, and then you need to identify the object. Line segment AB is the object, and you need to draw the image and label as A1, B1. Okay, the image will be A1, B1. Alright, now for enlargement, just remember the image can be bigger or smaller than the object. Only enlargement that change the size of the object. Remember that one. Alright, now I will show you how you're going to use these scale factor skills to make you much easier to construct your enlargement. Okay, now I will show you the skills, and I love these skills very much. All right, so your scale factor is 3, right? So denominator will be 1. Whole number, every whole number, denominator is 1, correct? So 3 is the image from the center. Okay, so I put image here, and 1 will be the object from the center. Okay, therefore from here you can see that your image will be bigger than your object. So you need to make sure your drawing later on, the image will be bigger than the object. All right, and this will be your object, and the image will be bigger than this. All right, much longer than this later on. All right, so this scale factor is very important. Please take note, scale factor is very important. If you can't read the scale factor very well, you will get it wrong. Okay, so be careful in exam and in your worksheet. Now let us identify the center. This will be the center. This will be the center. And then let us start doing the point A. And first of all, you need to draw the dotted line first. You draw the dotted line carefully, following the vertices here. Okay, so from the center, passing through the object, be careful. So draw your dotted line, and after that your image will be 3 times larger than your object, right? So this will be the one time. The object is 1 time from the center, correct? So 1 time here, and your image will be 3 times from the object. Oh, sorry, from the center. So 1, 2, 3, and label A1. That's how you do the enlargement. All right, and repeat the same thing for point B. Okay, repeat the same thing for point B. And I emphasize here your object must be smaller than your image. Okay, and here will be the distance of the object from the center. If you can see here, the distance is by 2 box, so keep consistently 2 box until 3 times. Okay, you get me so far? If you still confused, you can come and ask. Okay, now we'll do the point B now. Please draw carefully and patiently. Okay, draw the dotted line so that you can plot the image much easier after this. Okay, and as you can see here, my line is a bit slight to my line is not exactly on the vertices. Okay, so I need to redo again the dotted line. This is how you're going to do in exam. If your line is not exactly on the vertices, you erase first and redo. Okay, so do it carefully. This is very important. And you can score marks with this question, so make sure you do it properly. Okay, draw your dotted line. And now we'll plot the image, and the image will be 3 times, right? So here the distance is 3 box, so your movement will be consistently 3 box. Okay, one times from the center will be your object, so your image will be 3 times from the center, so here will be the B1. Okay, and don't leave your points like this. Your object is a line segment, right? So your image must also line segment. Okay, your image also need to be a line segment. So don't leave your points like this. You need to draw a line to join this A1 and B1. Okay, draw the line. All right, now we done with the enlargement of object line segment AB. And remember, only enlargement that change the size of object. It can be, the image can be bigger than object or smaller than object. Please remember that one. Example 5. First, you need to circle the keywords. And the keywords here is enlargement. Alright, for enlargement, look for 2 things. First is scale factor, and second will be the center. Okay, and here the scale factor is half, and the center is 0. And here, 0 means the x will be 0 and y will be 0. And sometimes we call it origin. Okay, sometimes we call it origin. The center will be here. Alright, this one. Now, please remember that for enlargement, it doesn't mean the image always bigger than the object. No. Okay, the image can be smaller than the object, and it all depends on the scale factor given. So you need to understand how to read that scale factor. If you cannot read the scale factor, you will be difficult to draw your enlargement in exam, okay, or in your worksheet. Now, I repeat the same thing just now. I want you to understand this method, these skills. It's very helpful for you. If you're able to do this, inshallah, you will not be doing any mistake for your enlargement. Okay, inshallah. Now, your numerator is 1. It will be the image from the center, and 2, the object from the center. Okay, this one will be the object, and the image will be smaller than that object. Okay, your image will be smaller than the object. Why? Because the object is bigger than the image, as you can see here. Okay, your image will be smaller than the object. So once you construct your enlargement, you need to make sure your image is smaller than the object. Okay? You need to understand that scale factor. If not, you will get confused. Alright? Now, we start from point C. You draw the dotted line. As always, draw dotted line. It is as your proof of workings. Proof of working is very important. Okay? You draw the dotted line from the center to the point C. Okay? From the center to the point C. And then you look here, we have 4 squares. Alright? We have 4 squares there. And please always complete each point first, then you move to the other points. Okay, step by step. Otherwise, you will get confused. Alright? Now, for your point C, your image will be somewhere at the mid of 0 and C here. And your image will be here, C1. Okay? We have 4 boxes here, so you can just divide by 2 like that because it is 2 times, okay? The object is 2 times the image. Therefore, the image will be 1 time of the object. Alright? So here. And now, we move to point D. Draw the dotted line. Draw the dotted line. Okay. Do it properly, please. Do it properly. Alright. And then your object is 2, right? So your image is 1. So it will be half of the object. Okay? Half of the object. Now, we have 3 box here and 3 box here. You can divide by 2. So the half will be here. Alright? So D1. And then, once you complete the D1, the image of D, and we proceed with the last point, point E. Okay, repeat the same thing. You draw the dotted line. You draw the dotted line. Do it properly. Okay, now take half of the line. Take half of the line. You have 6, right? So take half. Your point will be there. Okay, so label E1. And join all the points. As you can see here, your object is a triangle. Therefore, your image must be also triangle. Okay, the shape always equal, always same. Okay, but it's just the size will be different for enlargement. Okay, so join all the points, and here you can see your image as a triangle. Okay, do it properly and neatly. You can score marks. You can score marks in this question. So do it properly. Okay, do it properly. Exactly on the vertices. Okay, exactly on the vertices. You draw a triangle, and now we are done. Okay, so this will be your image of this object. Okay.
Doa selepas belajar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma inni astaudi'uka ma 'allamtani fardudhu ilayya inda hajati ilaihi ولا تنسني يا رب العالمين. Ya Allah, sesungguhnya aku menitipkan padamu ilmu-ilmu yang telah Engkau ajarkan kepadaku, dan kembalikanlah kepadaku sewaktu aku memerlukannya kembali. Dan janganlah Engkau lupakan aku kepada ilmu itu, wahai Tuhan yang memiliki semesta alam. Amin.